And now I want to talk a little bit about sequestration, which is the elephant in the room. And as I'm sure the staffers in the room have heard from the rare disease community via many emails and calls this week, this will have a very serious impact on rare disease research, drug and development in particular. We're particularly concerned about NIH and FDA. I know our focus today has been on FDA, particularly FDASIA, so I want to start with FDA. I know that defense, by the way, defense spending is getting a lot of attention. But I think it's important that as we're talking about this too, that these issues be addressed, especially considering how dire a lot of these issues are for the rare disease community and how important FDA and NIH are to the health of those in this country. So in terms of the FDA, an approximately 8% cut to the FDA means that they'll lose $318 million in funding. And while 205 of this comes out of appropriations, another 113 comes out of user fees. So according to the OMB report that came out, I guess a couple months ago, user fees are going to be impacted. And as we're talking about FDASIA, everyone works so hard on this PDUFA reauthorization, and industry is still responsible for contributing these user fees, but a part of those user fees are going to be taken out and put into a treasury account, which means that they're not going to be helping move forward drugs. And I have to point out that PDUFA has helped FDA operate in a more efficient way, and it's reviewed the median review time from 29 months in 1991 to approximately 13 months in fiscal year 2010, and we don't want to see sequestration impact this. And you know, it's going to affect the Office of Orphan Products Development and other offices at the FDA. And it's important to note that not only is the FDA responsible for drugs and medical devices, it's also responsible for food and dietary supplements and cosmetics and tobacco and bioterrorism countermeasures and more. And safe food and drugs are core functions of this government, and they keep Americans healthy. The FDA has oversight of about $2 trillion in goods and services, and nearly 1/4 of consumer spending in the US. And now that the Food Safety Modernization Act and FDASIA have passed, there's even more responsibility. And lessening funding for the FDA will hurt their ability to meet those responsibilities. And I just have to say too, going back to Kaleido, that it was reviewed and approved in only 3 months, which is pretty incredible and one of the fastest reviews in the history of the agency, and we were very proud of that. That kind of thing, if we have layoffs at the FDA, if they lose more funding, we're not going to see that happen with more drugs, and there are so many life-saving drugs for those with rare diseases, and we'd like to see them move through as quickly as possible. And if you want to just kind of go forward, yeah, you can skip past that. So as you'll see, I only have, I think, a minute left, but it will also affect rare disease research at NIH. And as you can see from that quote from NIH Director Collins, he's very concerned about it, and we all should be. There are a lot of offices and programs and activities at NIH that specifically help to move rare disease drugs forward. In particular, the National Center for Advancing Translational Sciences has a number of programs that are focused on rare diseases. The Therapeutics for Rare and Neglected Diseases program is one that comes to mind that encourages greater collaboration across sectors on translational science. And if you want to just move forward, and an 8% cut at NIH could lead to 33,000 fewer jobs across the United States, $4.5 billion decrease, in economic activity. And as estimated by Research America, NIH could lose 2,400 grants. And I know for cystic fibrosis, our doctors and researchers are really concerned about that. Thank you very much.